On to the sports corner now. The clock is ticking backwards on the Qatar World Cup, and it often seems political controversy is the game there. But believe it or not, there will be soccer too, at least on the sidelines of it. Just kidding. I24 News head of social media strategy, Pablo Vinokur, is joining us now with this very, very peculiar prepping on behalf of Qatar. Not fake news, but fake fans?
Absolutely, Ellie. You don't know about this?
No, I know little about soccer generally, so maybe it's a thing, but tell me more.
So, in the last few days, we've been seeing in social media, mostly on Twitter and in TikTok, mostly on TikTok, where the origin of these things is going on.
Of all things good.
Of all things.
Right.
I don't know if it's good. Let me tell you. There's an account, Qatar Living, on TikTok. It has over 400,000 followers. And there we can see events in Qatar prior to the World Cup. Parties in Qatar, pre-gaming, some fun stuff, right? But then we see fans from Brazil, fans from Argentina, fans from Germany, and fans from Portugal. They really look alike. They're all like the same people. So what is going on now in social media is people is accusing the Qatari government of paying the workers that build the stadiums and build infrastructure that are mostly from Bangladesh and India. They're paying them to support different teams that have nothing to do with their culture. In this case, the countries I mentioned.
So just wearing a T-shirt with the logo of this respective country, but the fan has nothing to do with it.
Exactly. We don't see our people from Argentina, people from Brazil, people from Germany. We see people from India, Bangladesh. It's super fair. They want to support those teams, but apparently. Well, the Qatari government is saying, no, this is totally untrue. We are not doing this. But yet we see a lot of people looking the same, and people on social media are laughing about it, not to cry, right, about it.
Right. It's either laugh or cry. It's the Truman Show real version, if you will.
It's mostly a simulation. We can see a simulation in the World Cup.
The metaverse is happening in front of our eyes. But speaking of the atmosphere and fans, there are other concerns, too, that the very strict rules of behavior and conduct of Qatar will impact the atmosphere and the experience for fans. For example, a World Cup trademark, beer, right? It's an issue.
Exactly. Well, now FIFA is kind of angry with the organization of the FIFA World Cup in Qatar, because we know that Qatar is a Muslim country, very conservative, of course, but Budweiser, the main sponsor, or at least the main beer sponsor of the World Cup, cannot display their stance as they would do in other countries, or like in Russia last edition, even in Brazil in 2014. The organizers of the World Cup are trying to keep it low on the beer advertising. So mostly that, and also they are limiting the amount of beer the fans can get in one order. They're limiting 4 orders per person when you go and buy, right, in one place. And each beer, each pint, it will cost around $8.
They really don't want fans to be drinking beer.
Yes, and also they don't want to make Qataris feel like encouraged.
Exposed to bad behavior, so to speak. And Pablo, you've been monitoring, keeping close tabs on social media in the context of the World Cup games. You know, we hear many political condemnations, official statements coming in and out. But what about the discourse in social media? Are they talking about the scandals or about the excitement ahead of the games?
I think people is pretty excited about this World Cup on the sports side of things. It's, for example, Messi's last World Cup. Neymar in Brazil, people are expecting a lot from him. England it's a question basically, as every World Cup, because they have a great squad. But people are very excited about it. But we're not seeing a lot of support to Qatar as an organizer. Actually, they're ignoring the fact that the World Cup is in Qatar. Some of the people is preaching some cultural boycott to the World Cup, but keep the sports on the highlight, because we all like football, soccer, and what we see in social media, to sum it up, is a big support for the sport.